Thank you very much, Sir Howard, for joining us. I would now like to invite Mr. Subhash Ghai, founder and chairman, Whistling Woods International, to please come on stage.
Thank you, Sir Howard Stringler, being with us. It has been a wonderful time to spend with you. You have been a wonderful person with a great sense of humor and understanding and visionary and very kind to our students and to our Whistling Woods by giving us the opportunity to be with you and to march ahead in the world of cinema. I would also welcome Mr. Saito Sen, Mr. Nimoto Sen, Mr. Keki Dadiset. He has been our very, very favorite anchor, I would say. And all our guests from the Sony Japan, Sony Singapore, Sony India, management, faculty, and students of Whistling Woods and friends. I would like to say that today is really a historic day. Today is the day when we change the way film and television is produced in India. If you take a 100 years view of the Indian film industry from 1930 to 2013, you will see that there are broadly 4 stages of it, technology-wise. And I see here, while 87 of these 100 years fall under one category, over the past decade, and there have been sea changes in the Indian film industry. Over the past 35 years of my filmmaking life, I have been witness to most of them, and in some cases was at the forefront of the change. I still remember when we introduced 70mm projection and 6-track stereophonic sound with my movie called Karma in 1986, or introduced the audio CD with my movie called Ram Lakhan in 1989. To the Indian film market. They were both unique then, but are either commonplace today or have already been eclipsed by ever-changing technology of today. Not being from a film family and from a lineage of the filmmakers back then, I used to always wonder what were the reasons more people would not enter the industry wanting to become filmmakers. After I began my career, I realized that it was because despite having access to the great talent, the filmmaking world was expensive and fraught with uncertainties. It was cumbersome and would take a lot of time and needed a large amount of infrastructure, a heavily controlled environment, and was at the risk of several other acts of the God or human error, most of which were associated with the analog nature of the production and post-production and distribution process and so on. And I've been seriously thinking over the past few years that especially after the emergence of the small budget movies in 2003 or 4, that filmmaking needs to get easier, quicker, and needs to cost less. Having seen what digital post-production can achieve versus analog post-production, I was pretty convinced that digital filmmaking is the way of the future. However, back then I could not find a single DOP and cameraman and camera operators or technician who had the ability and was agreeable to shoot digitally. That was understandable as there was no formal training available back then. Also, the equipment needed was not available domestically, and neither was the post-production infrastructure for the same. Which is why when we set up Whistling Woods in 2006, we ensured that high definition would be a key component of the filmmaking curriculum, and we'd encourage the students to use HD in making their diploma films. In 2006, it was considered radical and ahead of time, but we preserved and endured. Today, I can proudly say that we are the only film school in India that has been instructing students in HD filmmaking for 4 years now. And we have had over a dozen of student diploma films shot on HD. Further, every of the 50+ cinematography students who have graduated from Whistling Wood is highly qualified to shoot on SD, as well as he is qualified to shoot on celluloid. While most of our cinematography graduates are chief assistants to some of the best of the DOP in the industry, they will very soon be playing the roles of DOP on several large films, and you will definitely be pleased with their quality of their work then. Further, we have ensured that we maintain a healthy relationship with the key technology providers to the motion picture industry. And one of those initial technology partnerships we entered into way back in 2006 was with Sony. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Those were the days, the Sony Cine Alta F900, and I remember we had hosted a workshop for the same back in 2006, 2007, for both the industry and our students. Since then, we have hosted Sony for several such workshops, including the launch of the Sony Cine Alta F35, which I would like to believe is the best high-definition camera in the world today. However, like always, both WWI and Sony have been asking each other that very important question, what next? And we have been discussing ways and means of bringing the SD technology, expertise, and know-how to the film industry. Over the past couple of years, and with the emergence of 3D films globally, we have been keen to explore 3D filmmaking in the Indian film entertainment industry as well. So this is what next, the SMTC. This is, in fact, nothing but a natural extension of the long partnership that Sony and Whistling Woods have shared. We have been in the conversation with each other for over a year now, and over the past year, Sony has reviewed several options for setup of this center of excellence in the region, and having recognized Whistling Wood as a leader in the media of entertainment education sector in Asia, decided to partner with the Whistling Woods for setup of the same. The SMTC at Whistling Wood International will focus on new and emerging technology in the fields of high-definition film, TV production, and 3D filmmaking. Apart from the equipping the WWI campus with the latest technology, including a Sony Cine Alta F35 or a Sony SXRD 4K 3D projector, and the Sony 3D filmmaking rig and workflow pipeline, all that, and Sony will also be bringing into campus on a regular basis. Their global subject matter experts from whom the Indian film industry and the Whistling Wood students would learn a great deal, I think. SMTC has already had its first success. And even before its inauguration, Star TV have moved their production to HD with Sony XDC 422 as the benchmark. After we have conducted several workshops for them in the recent past. So now, back to the perennial question, what next? We hope to achieve a great amount over the next couple of years. We are planning to bring the Indian film industry in and speak to them about shooting their films on SD. Given the critical mass of Whistling Wood graduated cinematographers in the industry, there is no dearth of talent to shoot the same. As for an assistance for them goes, we are more than happy to provide consultancy to these filmmakers at the pre-production, productions, and post-production stages of their films in order to alleviate any concerns they may have about HD filmmaking. We are also waiting keenly for one visionary filmmaker who will take up the challenge of shooting India's first 3D film. We are here to help you, provide you with the talent who can shoot 3D and assistance in the 3D filmmaking pipeline so as to ease the process for you technology. I, for one, am happy to announce that in 2011, I will produce a film shot entirely on HD, and in 2012, I will produce a 3D film. I do not know, it's my dream I'm a commitment, I'm a promise, but I would like to do that. As you know me, I have always been in love with the change of technology because I would like to tell my story, my content, my expressions with the different medium or the different technology right from the beginning. And I started my career as a filmmaker when we could not have even a dissolve facilities to have a dissolve shot. We started shooting with the Mitchell camera at that time, and then the reflex came. And we had a lot of limitations, but most important for us was the storytelling. But still, I was always with my DOP, I used to discover some kind of a technology within a lot of limitations over there. And finally, I must say I welcome all the filmmakers in the film industry to join me in this digital journey. And let's change the way films are made today. My sincere thanks to Sir Howard Stringler again for visiting us today, and to the entire team at Sony for extending this partnership. My special thanks for the media present here today, to all my students, to faculty and staff present here. You have just witnessed the emergence of a new film entertainment industry in India. And I promise and commit to you, Mr. Howard, that we are marching ahead with the new technology that's called a 3D. Thank you very much.